the question was, she's built most of her platform or her social media content in Portuguese. If it would be wise to start fresh with a brand new page or just kind of convert. It all comes down to one variable. Is your active audience right now actually active? Meaning, like, is what you're doing in Portuguese really working? So if it is, yeah, create another page and make it all in English and then target a brand new audience. But I would not kill one network in order to build another one. So it is not active. So if it is not active, I would convert then and start working on the English market because you already have an established page with an established algorithm, even if it might not be very big. But there are variables out there. So an algorithm is a set of rules, regulations, and policies that we don't know about. That social media decide, okay, today I like Adora, and I'm gonna give her all the visibility and I'm going to ignore everybody else. And it all depends on what changes and what's trending and what's hot and what's not, etc. By the way, it also based on what you're clicking on when you are scrolling. So when you are in the scroll hole in the crazy world, be very careful. If you spend more than 5 seconds on a specific video, that very video and similar content of it will show up again and again. So I got some of my buddies like, man, I don't know why these Instagram models keep appearing on my. I'm like, yeah, what you been doing when I haven't been around, you know? The point that I'm trying to make is yes, you can start a new page if you have an active audience, but if you don't have an active audience, start doing a re-evaluation of your brand, your messaging, and then go in English. But don't ignore every now and then drop something on stories in Portuguese. Yeah. So not only that, if you all have Netflix, there's a documentary called Social Dilemma. I highly recommend for everybody to watch it because you'll understand how algorithms work. So what they show in Social Dilemma is that documentary itself, it's educating that every social media platform operates like a psychiatrist, and it's just like analyzing us every single second. So if I spend 5 seconds in one video more than another, they're like, he likes that one more. Okay, let's show him more of that. Just like, look, let's leave the device or the biased political views aside, right? But if I'm sitting right next to you and I'm watching a couple of videos that says Trump good, and you're right next to me that watching a couple of videos that says Trump bad, guess what? You'll have your own reality that shows you nothing but bad things, and I have my own reality that shows me nothing but good things. That's partly why we have the divide that we have from the a social media side of things. But you can reset it. Yeah, because look, how many? Let's yeah. When you go live sometimes, right? And you're like, Instagram will tell you like we're notifying 20 people. You're like, I got 15,000. Why are you only notifying 20? That's based on those variables of specific. And then when 5 of the 20 show up, it's like we're notifying 20 more. Well, why don't you just notify all 15,000 and let them choose to watch or not watch, right? That's how algorithms operate. And the reason they do that, just so you know what's in it for the social media platforms, that's their business model. If you, Adora, can get me to get on your platform, call it Instagram, and I'll stay on as much as possible, and Instagram considers you a superhero because you kept me there like a TV channel, and they're putting the commercials in between your content. So they're making more money that way. But if you are putting something that makes me go to another platform, that's a minus point for Adora is deterring people away from my platform. Therefore, I'm not going to show Adora more. That's unfortunately how it works. That's why, if you're wondering, unfortunately, in social media, there's a lot of bad things, a lot of bad pranks, fight content, and nudity, all the craziness that's out there, because most people are out of the sense of rubbernecking, right? Like accidents and fights. They're watching more of that stuff, and somebody is valuable and making so much money from that content, and that's horrible. Conversation for another day. The point that I'm trying to make: how do you reset your algorithms? When you are in Instagram, for example, when you have that search category where you can see like, all the different things. And if you see something that does not align with your core values, the 3 button menu and put not interested. You do that 10 times in a row, you'll literally refresh, you'll start seeing everything changing and shifting. So just put not interested on anything that you are not interested in because that's used against you and by the way, this is for every platform. If you're in TikTok and you're watching political videos all day, every day, the moment you hop on, isn't it funny? Is the same exact page at the same exact time that notifies us about the same exact topic? That's because TikTok is like, I know you more than you know you. And I know when to get you to grab your cell phone, and I know how long you're going to be watching. So it's predictive behavior. So just put not interested. That's where that self-control needs to happen, right? So I hope that answered. It's a long answer, but I'll just stop. You don't have to stop. It's not an either or, it's an and. You just need to turn up on what you actually are really interested in, right? Like I support and if you are connected with me on social media, like I support my wife on all of her ambassador videos. I support my sister-in-law who's a model. I support my nephew who is in France doing, like, I support the family. And that automatically adjusts and I just have to every now and then, not interested, to reset. And do not fall into the trap of the algorithms, meaning don't put a value on your business or on your page based on how many likes or comments am I getting. Give me one like, I'll turn it into $1,000 today. It's not about the actual virality. It's about the value that you're offering for that one person who respected and loved on you enough. So don't make that mistake. Ed, let's go to you, sir. I see your hand up.
What's up, Ali? How you doing, man?
What's
Hey, I do
up?
like that shirt. I don't know if we wear the same
Thank you.
size, but I need to borrow that. But so I have a question about what you're saying with the algorithms because my daughter's all over social media and she's affiliated with Amazon and Target and all these other companies that actually pay her for doing little videos, and I don't understand it. She does weird stuff, but she gets paid for it. I always constantly post about mindset and self development and personal growth. And she's like, Dad, you can't always just post about that. And I'm like, why? That's what I care about. That's what I'm into. That's what I want to help others with. That's what the help I'm looking for. And she's like, you got to post about real life stuff. And I
Yep.
posted a stupid video of me shredding cheese with a tree, and it got more videos than everything I've ever posted.
Yep.
Views. So how does all of that play into the algorithm? A shredding cheese
Well,
video compared to like mindset and personal development.
but let's go back to that cheese video. Here's what I would do. The next cheese video that you do, as you are doing slicing cheese or shredding cheese, talk about the mindset. See, if I got a video that everybody loved my daughter, guess what? I put my daughter in my lap. I'm like, man, my daughter and I were just watching this video, and I start giving the message that I wanted to give, but I'm leveraging that moment that I'm having with my daughter. So what she's telling you is true. Again, remember what I said at the training? You got to forget what we've done yesterday and before. It's no longer relevant. The idea that I'm going to create a video of like, hey, Ali here, and today I'm going to talk to you about, and then go into the topic. Those videos are skipped. Nobody cares about them anymore. What people want is the music, the emojis, and the captions, and the shorter, the sweeter, right? So how do you leverage that? What are you doing that you are living that mindset that you're teaching? Live it. So while you're with your daughter, and I'm like, man, I'm just having an argument with my daughter. She's telling me what I'm doing is irrelevant, and he taught me something valuable. I got to start listening to the youth. What I've done yesterday no longer matters. See, now I'm teaching mindset using a real life example. I can use an argument on the news and want to give my passionate core values or what I believe or don't, but put it with a positive spin on it that you're still teaching with your core values, but you are using, right? What she's talking to you about is not what you're talking about, but the delivery of it. That's all. If you just adjust the delivery of it, I promise you, you'll get that very same shredded cheese virality while you're giving your message out. I hope that helps.
Man, that's powerful because all I talked about in that video was how good this cheese was going to taste after it's shredded. Appreciate that.
So the only thing that I will put as far as spin on that is figure out, what I learned about the cheese? It took so much bad things to happen to the cheese in order for it to be as valuable. Because it has to turn into mold before they work it to become cheese. So at one point, people didn't value this block of cheese that I have. And what this teaches me right now, at one point of my life, I did not have any real value. And I thought of myself, man, I stink. I'm bad at what I do. But eventually, I became valuable. See, I just took that very same cheese thing and turned it into another.
You know what you just showed me? I need to hire somebody that thinks like you to do my
or just make sure that you are absolutely engaged in the Diva network and you got me by your corner every day.
There we go. I'm all in.
So we've got a lot of different type of entrepreneurs on here, some, different levels of revenue. And so what advice would you give them for like having some type of framework process every day? Just what like, hey, do this, pick this social media
Yep.
and how much, how many minutes a day? Because at the end of the day, there's a lot out there. As somebody that's helping, with companies and all this stuff and brands, is that there's just so much out there, like, and people getting into overwhelm mode. I'm one of those people, and so I don't even post on Facebook because I'm just like, yeah, it takes too much time. I'd rather just, have a VA do it or something. So anyways, give some
I appreciate
practical
that.
things today.
I'll give you, so first and foremost, there are a million ways to $1 million. So it doesn't mean what I'm about to tell you is the only way of doing it, right? But I'm going to share with you two ways. One requires money, one requires time. And based on where you are in life and in your budget, you figure out what's the route for you. The money part, either hire an agency, a virtual assistant, or a company that does it all for you. And then you're just the talent. They'll tell you exactly when to do it and then just let them do the production for you. That's with to do it the right way. It's an average of $1,000, maybe $2,000 a month, and all of your content, short and long, will be done for you. That's one way. Now here's the other way, and this is what I do, and I teach, and I still do with my own company, and with my wife and I work together. So first things first, every day is a different department in our business. And what do I mean by that? So on Monday is executive and internal affairs, where we talk just about whatever we got going on for the week, what do we got to adjust, what happened, et cetera, et cetera. On Tuesday, it's marketing. So what do we do on that Tuesday? That's where we block off time and we record all the content. Like I have a list. You need content for this project. You need videos for that. You need podcasting for it, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I already know, and I time block Tuesday from 12 to whatever, 4 o'clock with a quick lunch break. I am not to be interrupted, and I have a list of things that I have to create. One day, all of it. And that's for the whole week. Then obviously post production and whatever edits and different things, whether you have a virtual assistant doing it for you, whether you're using an application or whatever it may be. But if you just time block one day, matter of fact, I'm going to take a minute. Watch, in 1 minute, I'm going to show you how you can create enough content for the whole week. Whatever that one day a week that you have 2 hours, I want you to take your phone and then put it in one corner in a stand. Whether you're going to take a picture with an automatic or somebody's taking it, and take 7 pictures, then change your shirt, go to a different side of the house, another 7 pictures, then go outside with a book, then go on the other side with the computer. Then use Canva has presets in it. It's free, by the way. And you just upload those pictures with the right presets, save them. Congratulations, you have 28 pieces of content. That is exactly 4 weeks in a row, 1 picture per day. Something as simple as that will give you that level of continuity. Now you do that with videos, right? Now you do that with long form, short, and so on and so forth. But it's a matter of time blocking with no, like, I don't do marketing every day. I don't record every day, unless we're doing podcasting, which is a business model. But as far as the content that you see, it's literally one day a week. All of it is done. And the beautiful thing about all of us, we lived in the last 10 years and we have a lot of long form videos and short form video. We have YouTube videos out there. We have lots of recycle. Man, that network you have now, you didn't have 5 years ago. They don't know what you were talking about. So there's a website called Veed, Veed, or look at y'all. Now you're like, oh, I need that one. Okay. There's Veed. There is, what's the other one, Jimmy? Opus Pro, right? I know we tried it in the past. Yeah, Opus Pro. So Opus Pro is another one where you just put the actual link of a YouTube video and it automatically crops the best parts of the video. It automatically puts caption on it. It automatically puts images and so on and so forth. You just save it and post it. So there is a free version, but they have their logo popping everywhere. And then there's the paid version based on where you are, business, life, money. You figure out what's right for you. Here's what I use. For those who's like, well, what do you use, Ali? I use a team. But if I were to recommend an application, the best one that I think a starting person should use is called Captions. Again, they have different price points to it. I think it's like $10 a month is the lowest, and then it's like $150 a month is the highest. My team has that, and we have the highest. And the reason that I love it, it actually creates with AI. It schedules for you, so I can give it a concept of my business and brand and say schedule for the next 30 days, and say every 3 days post something different. And there are automatic avatars that look like human beings, real human beings, and they're just posting stuff about my company and my product and my service. And every single day, 3 days is something different. So I share all this with you, tell you have options, but the key element that Jamie asked about, time block, one time block out of the whole week. Because would you agree with me? It's stressful to edit a video. It's stressful to record content. It's stressful to figure out copy. And I don't care how many times you use Chat GPT, you'll still find yourself reading the whole thing and editing it and fixing it, etc. So hire a team or do it yourself. I shared a lot of different ways that you can do it with you.
So I have 2 questions. The first one is scheduling content. Will you recommend scheduling Because I like batching, and instead of weekly, I like doing monthly. So will you recommend monthly and quarterly scheduling versus weekly? And the second question in posting, will you recommend daily posting, 2 times a week, 3 times a week for consistency?
Yes. And
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I said yes to. That one word you said at the end, consistency. See, it is not about how many times and where do I or when do I. It's how consistent am I with the level of commitment that I'm giving that social media platform. Because again, social media knows us more than we know us, and it shows us habitual things. So it's the same day. I know myself, I'm all about safaris, and like I find my watching those documentaries of nature. And every day, when I find him like, all right, we worked out, let's go ahead and start. And I get on Facebook or whatever, the first thing that shows up is some lion chasing a zebra. And I'm like, man, why am I seeing this? And I know because I now and then I find myself scrolling into those elements, right? And it's the same time. So it is about consistency. It is about how often are you doing it. Now, me personally, if I were sitting next to you, I'll say whatever you do in posts, double it in stories. So if you do a post a day, do 2 stories. If you do 2 posts, do 4 stories, and so on and so forth. And by the way, if you are not posting stories, you are missing out. And here's why. A post is algorithmic, meaning based on certain variables, certain people are going to see it. But an actual story, it's chronological. So I don't care if you're Kylie Jenner. If I post a story and we have 20 mutual followers, I just bypass you, Kylie Jenner, and those followers get to see me. So it's just a matter of putting content out there. So be consistent in whatever system that you have, whatever it's quarterly, daily, weekly, whatever you do, cool. Just be consistent with it. Algorithms don't like interruptions. Who we got? Justine, what's up, sister?
Hi. First of all, Ali, I have tried some of the things that you suggested, and I just want to verify. I'm giving Ali a super shout out testimonial, verify that this stuff absolutely works. I have engaged with people that I like that took my voiceover classes years ago and threw a like out there. And I'm like, who is this person? And suddenly we're talking about maybe them going on my retreat. Like, this works. My perfectionist brain, when you said go interview, of course, I'm like, well, I'm a podcaster. Do I set up my podcast? So when you're saying go interview, are you just like do an interview and then post it somewhere, or stream it? Like, I want to take it a step further, and maybe I don't need to. Maybe I'm overthinking this, but maybe for everybody, because I'm sure I'm not the only one. It's one of those questions that I feel like I'm dumb asking it, but talk to us a little bit about that. And I'm sorry, the IRS just called me back. It was very frustrating on the phone.
Tell them I don't know you
Happy.
because I just paid them this morning.
You said that. That's why I told you. I was trying to get a call back from them. So
Yeah. So again, the answer is yes on all of the above. So you cannot do the wrong thing by being in front of people. Now, please understand, I am not telling you just go and just interview with just about anybody, right? Like you got to have
no, I
certain
know that.
standards, certain core values that you operate with. But personally, if you are already doing podcasting as you're the one who interviews, or are you interviewing? Okay, so good.
I do both. I mean, I have a podcast and I've been on many
So-
podcasts.
So here's my question to you: when you're podcasting, what is the process? Meaning, do you have a production team that's doing it for you, or you're recording your own content and editing it?
I am lucky. I have a production team that
Perfect.
process it, because I'm doing it sort of with a second party. But I
No,
need to
that's
start
perfect.
thinking about my own. But
Yes. So, and then where does that podcast air?
it's everywhere. It's just like what we're doing here. It's iHeart.
Beautiful.
It's Spotify.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah.
Audible.
So do you get charged from it as well?
Yes, and
Beautiful.
yes, I have some. Yes.
Keep going. No, so I'm just letting you know you are.
I'm at the point now with I have so much content that I need to gather it and start utilizing it on my own behalf.
Yeah.
That's Justine's overflowing bucket of delights.
Yeah, and don't be afraid of reevaluating everything that you have been doing, and
Yeah.
try to trim the fat. And what I mean by that, sometimes we are doing everything just because out of routine, but it might not necessarily look. I'll be honest with you. I every January I reevaluate what am I doing, who am I doing it for, what can I get rid of out of my life, what is taking, and I dropped a few things out of my life this month that just passed, and you got to evaluate that because Sometimes we think, hey, I'm doing everything. Well, why are you doing everything? Sometimes maybe we should just shrink and focus on the one thing. So here's my question, or this is for everybody. When you do a self-evaluation from a branding perspective, this is at least what I teach, is you got to ask these three questions from an ICO or marketing for who you're talking to. Who do you help? How do you help them? And what are the results that you create? So who do you help? How do you help them? And what are the results that you create? Now, when you find the answers, those three are now, you got to be specific. I mean, I'm talking about later on tonight, if you're having a glass of wine or a cup of tea or whatever you are into, make sure that you are brain dumping. Is when I say sky, what comes to mind? Moon, stars, sun, whatever, right? Like that's brain dumping. So brain dump and then evaluate every single thing and ask yourself this question: is what I'm doing answering these questions? Is the messaging that I have in my website helps this audience, provides these processes, these systems, the how, and then creates these results? If the answer is no, you probably are your own enemy by you're doing a lot, but for the wrong audience or the wrong message, right? Now, once you identify who do you help, how do you help them, and the results you create, you need to do some internal questioning. And what is your vision? Now, when I say what is your vision, I'm not asking you about your mission statement or elevator pitch. What was, what is, and what will be. See, once upon a time, I was working 90 hours a week in a restaurant after being a newlywed, and my wife almost left me because we were not together ever. So I was desperate and got out of a job and just tried everything to have a relationship with my wife. That's my wife was, right? Today I find myself in a very lucky place where I'm an entrepreneur and I have options in life and I get to work with amazing group of women and the men who support them. That's the now. And my hope, my desire is to expand this globally so I can help every woman that feels that she does not have a voice, whether in a third world country or first world country, and make it fair advantage and give the woman the equity that she deserves. And every man who sees what I see, to back her up. That's the future. So why did I give you that specific? If whomever I'm talking to isn't buying into that vision of here's what I was, my relatability, here's where I am, my transparency, and here's what I will be, the desire. If you can't buy into that, we shouldn't be in business together. Even verify it for you in this way. When we applied for a job, or if we apply for a job today, the hiring party says, well, let me tell you a little bit about our company. TGI Fridays has been established in Tennessee, and we are in 23 states, and our goal is to expand globally, right? They tell you about the past. And today, we are looking for somebody who speaks Spanish and English so he can help us expand into South America. And our goal is to make sure that we are the number one, that's the desire, the number one. And then they ask you, how do you see yourself fitting into our mission, past, current, and then future? And you have to do that. Look, business fundamentals are the same, whether you're a solopreneur or a Fortune 100 corporation. And until you look at that mirror when you wake up, but by the way, before you go to sleep, fire the person you're looking at. Say, you're fired, you're done, I'm not talking to you ever again. When you wake up and you're brushing your teeth in the morning, that person you see, say, congratulations, you got the job. And hire yourself all over again with brand new core values. So long question, but answer, but I hope it delivered a little bit of the area you were looking for.
You kind of I think you just kind of answered it with just do the interview and then just post it on your Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever.
You can, you absolutely can. And just one side note, I'm not a fan of using Zoom to record because Zoom by default drops the resolution. StreamYard, if you want to like use just, StreamYard, it's a freemium platform. If you pay, I think the $25 or the $50 a month, you got 4K options. So you can get the best resolution. Some of you are going to be like, I'd rather 1080 because like you start, I see some like, man, I'm getting old. Like no 4K, just put it back to 1080. I don't want them to see the wrinkles. But yeah, StreamYard, at the very least, there are other advanced platforms. But
I think I have Riverside, so I think I could just
So that's a beautiful platform. Most people are necessarily just at the starter phase, but yeah, that's a beautiful platform to use. Oh, thank you. I'll see you tomorrow.